Hi there, this is a video review of the Sony NEX-5 camera. Apologies for doing this through a boring PowerPoint presentation, but it's the only camera I own, so therefore I can't do a sort of a recording off the camera itself. I've taken a few photos with my phone camera, which is quite poor quality I'm afraid, but it'll have to do. And anyway, I'll put those into this PowerPoint presentation and I'll just talk over them. I'll do some more proper video reviews in the future. So there it is in my hand. I have quite a small hand, so you can see how small the camera is. It's got a full APS-C size sensor inside, like a proper full-size digital SLR. It's actually the exact same sensor they use in their Alpha A33 camera. It's very big, very sensitive, very good quality sensor. It also has interchangeable lenses, and Sony claim it's the smallest interchangeable lens camera in the world. Which I'm sure is true. It's made out of a magnesium alloy. This is in black, they do a silver version. Very good build quality, very solid, very light as well. There's a sister model, the NEX-3, that's made out of plastic. And aside from being made out of plastic, it will also only shoot 720p video, whereas this will do the full 1080. I believe it's 1080p, but in a 1080i wrapper. So the front, I'll just point out a few things. So we've got the 16mm pancake lens on there. I'll talk more about lenses in the future. The shutter button, as with any shutter button really, half press it to autofocus, full press to take your photo. The on-off switch, which is combined with the shutter button in the NEX-3. That's the sort of auto contrast, sort of orange light thing. And there you can see the playback button, which is you press to sort of view your photos and so on. And there's this cheap sort of strap it comes with. So this is another view basically. So you can see the size of the lens. This little white dot, in case you're interested, lines up with a white dot on the mount. So when you sort of connect and disconnect the lenses, you can see what you're doing. And there's also a button actually sort of hidden away here for disconnecting your lenses. You can just see there that little red dot on the button. That's the recording button for the video mode. So it's one press record and press it again to stop. And here are stereo microphones for again your video recording. There's a flap here which I'll talk about later. It's to do with the flash, and there's a speaker as well for playing back audio with when you're playing back your videos on the actual camera. Connectivity wise, there's a HDMI and a mini USB. I've not used the HDMI. I've used a USB, and they both work as you'd expect. Unfortunately, there's no external microphone 3.5mm jack, which I think I'd have quite liked from a video making perspective. You can get an external microphone, but it's via a proprietary connection. This is the grip on the right hand side. It's very comfortable to hold. It's sort of a textured grip. So this is the back of the camera. Now, I mean, a lot of people sort of worry about these sort of cameras that you're going to be fully reliant on the screen rather than a viewfinder. In my experience, that's not a problem at all. The screen is I think it's about a 900,000 dot resolution. It's 3 inches, very bright, very good image quality. And so far, in all the conditions I've used it, I've not had even a slightest problem viewing the screen. And to be honest, removing the mechanical complexity and the bulk of the mirror assembly box or an optic or electronic viewfinder, I think it's actually quite kind of worth it. So the main way of sort of using the camera's sort of various functions are through these 3 metallic soft keys, and they change function depending on the context you're using them, and they would display on the side of the display what they do. So it takes you to the menu. That's something called background defocus, which is when you're in your intelligent auto mode, it's basically a way of changing the aperture. And this is shooting tips. It basically gives you sort of tips and hints when you're in the again in the auto mode. To be honest, these sort of cameras you don't really use in the auto mode too much, and I very rarely do. When you're in the more manual creative modes, aperture priority, shutter priority, manual, that kind of thing, these are customizable. So I mean, I've got this one set to give me instant access to my ISO, and I've got this one set to give me access to white balance, sort of focus settings, and something else I've forgotten now. There's a little jog dial around here which you rotate to adjust things, and you can click it down. By default, it gives you changes your display, gets you access to your drive mode, flash settings, and your exposure compensation. But it does various other things as well. Your display varies. I mean, I've got the histogram turned on here, but you don't necessarily have to have it. It's battery, image quality, current mode. I mean, it's auto detected. It needs to be into macro at this stage. That's to tell you how many photos you can take on the memory card. Some various settings. Shutter speed, aperture. The 16mm lens isn't optically image stabilized, so it's telling me that's off. Here you can see the screen, very wide viewing angles, generally very good quality, and it sort of flips up by about 90 degrees and down, I'd say probably about 45, 60 degrees, something like that. This hinge mechanism is actually predominantly made out of metal, so it's not flimsy as I was expecting, and there's a little magnet to make it snap shut rather than sort of flap about, which is again something I was a bit concerned about. So yeah, it's generally a very good quality build. There's a hatch on top to attach a flash, and it sort of screws down and sort of clicks in place. And when it's in that position, it's off, and when it's in that position, it's sort of on, and it'll be used as and when necessary. And you can customize that through the settings. There's the underside with a terrible out of focus picture, I'm afraid. Here's the tripod mount, and you can see it's exactly in line with the centre of the lens, which is really where you want it to be. Here is a big hatch you can open with this switch here, and that gives you access to the SD card and the battery. And there's a little light here to tell you when the SD card's in use, so you don't try to eject it when it's being accessed. So these were some photos taken with the 18 to 55mm lens. Just a quick preview basically. I'll try to take some better ones and put them in another video. Thank you very much for listening and viewing. I will attempt to make some better videos in the future. Thanks again.